Okay, so this is the first night in the SylvanSport GO, and we got to the campsite here at Ash Grove Resort just about an hour before all this rain started, and we got the GO set up very fast, the fastest we've ever set up a tent, I think, and then the rain started dumping. You can take a look on the inside. We have a ceiling fan, USB powered ceiling fan, which is really nice. Got a lot of lights. There's another little fan Marion's setting up. Our little dog is absolutely not sure what to do.
Because of the rain.
Yeah, definitely it's because of the rain. She does not like rain. We've set up the one of the bed platforms as a table for now. And we have our two individual cots for the night. We set it up as quick as we could because we were afraid that the storm was coming, and sure enough, here it is. Oh look, we even have a Totoro. For those of you that know what a Totoro is, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, we got here, set it up just in time, in the nick of time, and here's the rain. And so this will be our first night, our first official night in the SylvanSport GO. First official night. We did camp on our carport for probably about a week and a half every night. That was our dry run. Reflection. Yeah, so that was our dry run, and this is our wet run. First official night, pouring the rain, remnant of Hurricane Laura. So here we go. Here we go. Well, we survived the night. It was a little scary with 25 to 30 mile an hour winds and torrential rain, but everything was fine. Everything survived intact. Nothing blew away. No giant trees fell on our GO or our list of our camping setup. There's a lot of giant trees here in this forest. Let's go down and take a look. Marion having her morning coffee that we cooked on the camp stove, and the little dog looking terrified as usual. The GO was absolutely solid through the entire night. No leaks, no issues, just a comfortable night's rest. Maybe it was the Totoro. Maybe it offered protection from nature. Over here is the other side of our setup. We have moved our, we have a little shower stall / bathroom stall. We moved that under the EVSE this morning because it was interesting in the middle of the night in the pouring rain. But now we have a nice little protected tunnel coming over to the EVSE, or to the shower stall bathroom. Here is our breakfast cooking facilities. We have a GoSun stove, a solar stove, running on a battery right now, cooking some eggs for breakfast. Over here on the picnic table, this is a BioLite camp stove, cooking some vegan sausage using fire, which I'm going to have to put a little bit more fuel down inside. Very simple system. It's a rocket stove. You may have heard of rocket stoves. runs on twigs, so it's fully powered by fully renewable energy. Twigs are renewable, they, you know, trees, right? And so we wait for breakfast to cook. Now we did run into one issue, but it has nothing to do with the SylvanSport GO. And I'll show that to you right now. So obviously we drove here in our all-electric Chevrolet Bolt EV electric vehicle, and my intention was to plug in and charge using the campground's 30 amp hookup. But there is a problem with their system, which is not their fault. It could happen to any electronics, but it doesn't work. When you power it on, the ground fault circuit does that. And when I plug into the 30 amp plug, nothing happens at all. Even though I have my extension cord plugged in, my charger ready to go, cord comes around, ready to be plugged into the car, but it doesn't work. So the manager of the campground has gone to the local hardware store to get the needed parts, and they're going to fix the system, and hopefully it will work and we can charge. We don't need to charge. We're not very far from home. This is just a shakedown cruise, so to speak, to test everything out. But I want to plug it in and test it out, so hopefully we'll get to do that later. All right, so one of the things I never liked about camping for extended periods of time is not being able to take a shower. Yeah, I know, in my old age I'm getting kind of soft, I guess. I really like a hot shower where I can really clean up after a long day of hiking and having fun in the wilderness. So with our camping system here, we have come up with a shower. Here it is, let's take a look. So we used the same shower stall, pop-up shower stall, for our toilet facilities and our shower facilities. Basically the outside is just a standard pop-up shower stall, and we put it on some blue camping pads to protect the your feet and the basin underneath to catch the gray water from the rocks underneath. At this location we have a lot of gravel, and then also this little bamboo structure to step on when you get out of the shower to put your shoes back on. And we put it real close to the GO this time, so we were able to, I had earlier a coat hanger hanging here with my clothes and a towel. The inside, pretty simple. This is one of those collapsible dog washing basins, dog bath, I guess. And it's nice because it collapses and you can store it easily. But it catches all the gray water from the shower head. Shower head goes up, follow the tube and out the top. Around the other side is my bolt with all kinds of crazy tubes and wires everywhere. But here's how it works. So when we need hot water for washing dishes or our shower setup, this is how it works. You take this 5-gallon plastic jerry can and this bucket heater. We fill the jerry can up, and then we put the bucket heater down into the jerry can, just like so. And then of course you don't want to drop the top of the bucket heater down into the jerry can, so we just hook a small bungee cord around it, and it sits perfectly inside the jerry can down in the water. Now of course this is not full. We would typically fill it all the way up, and then plug the bucket heater in to the standard 120 volt extension cord that goes over to the campground outlet. And 30 minutes later we have very hot, yeah, really very hot water. Wasn't boiling, but it's perfect.
It's hot enough to where you need to dilute it if you're going to shower or wash dishes.
Right. And so that's how we do it. Now, this is 120 volts, but what if we pulled into a campground without power? What if it was a remote campground? Well, that system is not installed yet, but basically what it's going to be is right here on the front of the jerry can, there's going to be a bulkhead fitting, and going through that bulkhead will be a 12-volt heating element, and then I can plug that into the 12-volt outlet in the bolt and heat up the water. It might take a little longer. We haven't tested that one yet, but it will still allow us to have maybe warm to slightly hot water. We'll see. That's another experiment. But yeah, that's how we make hot water when we camp. I mean, obviously we could boil water, but this is a lot faster. So after I've heated the water in the jerry can, I bring it over to the car and set it beside the car just like so. And then this tiny little pump system here. This is just a little 12-volt pump. It has a draw tube that goes down into the jerry can to the bottom, and a 12-volt switch. Flip that, and the pump comes on. Sometimes it doesn't prime very well, so you have to suck on the end of the tube to create a suction, and that gets the water flowing. And so yeah, you just put the end of the tube into this filler port, and you can see it's filling up now. This is our shower, our pressurized shower system. It's basically a kind of a hot water heater storage facility. It's just PVC, black PVC. You know, being black, it absorbs heat from the sun. But that, I found, unless I was in a desert location, would not heat the water well enough. So as you saw earlier, we use a special bucket heater to heat the water in the 5-gallon jerry can before transferring it into this tube. Once this tube is full, it holds about 3.5 gallons. And then we pressurize this tube using, right now, we're using this device. It's just a 12-volt tire inflator that you can carry in your car in case you have an emergency on the highway. And so now it's a dual-purpose tire inflator, shower tube pressurizer, I guess. But while this is filling up, maybe you're wondering where the power is coming from. Well, down here, you can see I have 2 cables stretching into the back of the car. And this is not standard equipment on the Chevrolet Bolt, but I added a 12-volt power port down here. And I'm pulling power from there for both items. So basically this has a cigarette lighter style adapter here for the air pump, and the other cord I built directly into this outlet, and that's what runs the electric pump that's pumping water up to the tube, shower tube. Also, when I'm not using the shower, this plug plugs into that outlet, and it runs the GO Sun Chill, which is a freezer cooler refrigerator, if you will. If you take a look inside, you can see we have, well, not very much now, but this is where we store all of our goodies for food. And it doesn't take much power at all from the car. I've ran this GO Sun overnight without any issue. Couldn't even tell when I started the car in the morning. Okay, so once the shower tube is full of water, I take this tube out, usually just hanging here on the door handle. And then I put this cap here. I don't even need Teflon tape. Thought I would at first, but it's a pretty tight seal. I don't tighten it hand tight though. That is what I use this wrench for. I just turn it a few times. I need to tighten the whole system up apparently because it just slipped. So once that's tight, I'll pressurize the system. But before I pressurize the system, let me show you a couple of things about this tube that make it unique and safe. So for one, if you're pressurizing anything, you need some kind of a relief valve in case your pressure gets too high and it could cause a failure, which could turn this into a bunch of scary plastic shrapnel. So this is a 65 psi pressure relief valve that when it gets to 65, it pops pops off and blows the pressure and keeps the pressure at 65 or below. And of course, this is the filler port, allowing air to be blown into the tube to pressurize it. Water filler you've already seen. And then here is the water outlet at the lowest point, obviously. And then that goes up, of course, to the shower. All right, so I'm going to turn on the pressurization. And now we wait. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes to pressurize the tube when it's full of water. When it's half full, maybe a little longer. Okay, so the compressor has reached 40 psi, and now I will show you how the shower works. First thing, turn this on. Sends water over to the shower head. Now, let's see how much pressure we have. So on the shower head, it has this little valve here, flow and pause. Well, the problem was pause was not stop. It was just dribble, and that's just wasting water when you have a very limited amount of water. So I installed a ball valve, and that just allows me to do this. Plenty of pressure. Normally the shower head would be hanging up here from a pole that would be tied on the roof of the Bolt or the Go, and it would be hanging in convenient reach. You could stand under it and get a fairly normal style shower, but we forgot the pole. So this time we were just using it like this, and it works perfectly. Either way. So this type of shower system, the way we've set this up, gives us about a 5-minute continuous shower, or you can, wet yourself, turn it off with the valve, soap up, turn it on, rinse off, and get more like a 10-minute shower, however much time you need. So it works really well. The water falls into this dog bath basin, and that's the gray water. We then collect that, and I'll show you how we do that in a minute. But hey, it works pretty well. One thing we found that happens is the pressure drops in the tube, and so it's helpful to have someone turn on the air compressor when you're getting close to the end of your shower, and that then allows you to use up all of the water at maximum pressure. So yeah, that's how this system works. This happens to be a Leader Accessories shower stall, in case you were wondering. Okay, so when we have to get rid of the gray water, like in this campground where we are today, we can't just eject our water out on the ground, our gray water. In some wilderness settings you could do that, and of course when we do that we would use Tucker Bronner's soap or another organic soap, biodegradable soap. But today we have to capture our gray water, so that was the purpose of the dog bath. So I'm going to get in here and show you how we can pump out the water that's in the dog bath right now, which is just clean water that I pump from the tube. So down here we have this little device, and it has some D batteries inside, and I'm going to turn that on. Up in here, if you take a look, there's a little pump on the end of this tube. Then I'll just pull this up. There it goes. Took a minute to, I think it had an airlock. And so this is how we pump out the gray water into a situation where we're in the wilderness. But here in this camp, we've already pumped out the dirty gray water, as I said, and it's in a bucket over there, and I'm going to go take it to the dumping station soon. But this works really well. It's nice to have a shower in the wilderness when you're all stinky and dirty after a fun day. Putting technology to work, making the wilderness a little bit more comfortable, I guess. All good things, right? So that's our shower system, and yeah. Do you like the Go, Tangy? I think she does.
Go, dog, go.
That's right, she loves to go, especially in the SylvanSport GO! With its own Totoro.